Françoise Grolet is on the campaign trail.
Would you like a leaflet? We're from the Front National. Enjoy reading it.
A leaflet from the National Front? No thanks. Some booksellers don't know how to read.
Grolet belongs to France's far-right National Front Party and is running as a candidate in the northeastern city of Metz.
We're heading towards a camp for asylum seekers, or pseudo-asylum seekers, who have arrived in Metz. They're camped out close to the buildings of the authorities responsible for processing their claims.
She believes these immigrants need to be deported and claims the vast majority of them are only in the country to sponge off the welfare system.
These people are applying for political asylum when in reality at least 85% of them are in fact economic migrants who come to France because they know they'll get social welfare. They all have a chance of getting residency permits here.
She blames Europe for France's problems and says her party offers the solution. She wants France to leave the Schengen Agreement and reintroduce border controls. For Nathalie de Oliveira, that idea is absurd. She's the socialist candidate for Metz and the city's deputy mayor. That would mean closing the border to Luxembourg, to where some 100,000 locals commute daily. Her own parents are from Portugal. They came to France with the hope of a better future.
The Front National is lying. Their slogans are dangerous. This is not progress. It sets us back decades.
The socialist candidate points out that many of the projects in the area have been funded by the European Union, a fact often ignored by the far right.
This is the impact of the European Union. Here we have a brand new optoelectronic research center equipped with the most advanced technology. It consists of 550 square meters of laboratories and the same amount of office space. It was funded with 3.6 million euros from the European Union.
Despite that, there's growing support for the far right in eastern France, in part out of protest against socialist President François Hollande. One of the biggest issues for people here is the demise of the steel industry. They had pinned their hopes on him to protect the remaining manufacturing plants. Instead, they're being bombarded with headlines about his love life. As a result, the National Front did well in local elections. In neighboring Hayange, the far-right party is already in power. The former trade unionist turned far-right politician Fabien Engelmann became the town's mayor in April. Hayange's partner towns in Luxembourg and Belgium immediately distanced themselves. But that's done little to dent the new mayor's confidence.
Arlon's mayor just wanted to make a statement and make himself come across as a kind of revolutionary who wants nothing to do with the Front National. But there was no real connection to speak of between the two partner towns anyway.
The mayor believes France would be better off without the EU.
People constantly claim that Europe has brought peace. That seems to be the magic word. But instead, we're seeing the middle class reduced to nothing. Unemployment is rampant. Everything has become more expensive, and people can no longer pay their bills.
But even here, not everyone is buying the idea that things used to be better.
Here we've seen wars in 1870, 1914, and 1940. My grandfather and father fought. Now our relationship with our European neighbors is much better. I think it's important for that to continue. That's important to me. I'm terribly bothered by what's happened in Hayange. The Nazis are back, and this time, they're among us.
Françoise Grolet and party leader Marine Le Pen reject any Nazi comparisons, They say their fight against the so-called Islamization of society is justified by the constitutionally enshrined separation of church and state, and that anti-Semitism is not an issue within the party. They want to reintroduce the French franc, the old currency, and introduce import duty on foreign goods. They're convinced these policies will benefit the economy.
This store sells kitchen appliances. The owner makes sure that most of the products he sells here are French. We welcome this kind of economic patriotism. We want people to buy French goods and not some low-quality products which have been manufactured on some corner of the earth. We have the means to offer French consumers what they want.
Many people blame globalization for the economic crisis. For some, a strictly national solution is an attractive prospect. By simply turning back the clock, the far right seeks to harvest more victories at the upcoming European elections.